What's up, everybody? This is John with Archer Fish Channel. A real quick video about all my gear that I use and my setups. People were asking about it, so I'm just gonna go over everything that I use, and that's it. So first and foremost, the bait that I use, I love the Senko bite. When the bite is on, Senko is an incredibly effective bait here in Southern California. It takes 10 seconds to know if you're gonna catch a fish with that cast, and also it's a little bit like top water almost. You know, you're seeing the line in the water. When a fish takes it, your line takes off. It's a really exciting bite. So the Senko, I use 4-inch, 5-inch, any green color and black flake, green and red flake, watermelon, whatever. That's what I use. This year I also did get some 3-inch. I haven't really used them yet, and some 7-inch. Also have not used them yet. So that is the bait of choice for me, is the Senko. Early morning, what I typically do is I start with the drop shot, and what I use is a little 1/8 of an ounce weight, and then I start in the morning using the Oxblood Red Flake or any of the Oxblood colors, because it shows up really well in the sort of morning water when it's darker. As the day goes on, I like to use the Robo Worm. As you saw at the Diamond Valley Lake video, I couldn't get the fish to bite on anything except for a Robo Worm, and I wasn't drop shotting it. I would just throw it on a tiny little hook, wacky rigged, and just let it sink, and I got almost all of my hits on that. That goes to this. So when I do that, when I'm wacky rigging just a Robo Worm, I use a little owner hook. I prefer the size 4, but size 6 works as well. It's just a little smaller. Also for the drop shot, this is the same hook size that I use. When I am wacky rigging Senkos, I'm going with the 1/0 Gamakatsu finesse wide gap hook. It's just kind of the best for the Senko. And also, if you haven't gotten one of these little guys and all the little black rubber tube things that go on it, you know, it keeps the Senko. Let me see if I can find one here. There it is. What you do is these things go on here, and you stick it on your Senko, so you could put the hook through the ring, and you save a lot of Senkos, and about $1 a piece. That's a pretty good deal. So you save a lot of Senkos when you got these things. So buy them on Amazon because they are worth it. All right, so that's what I'm throwing right now. That's what I'm trying to throw only right now. So here is my rod arsenal. I have this Shimano Kumara, which is specifically a drop shot rod. It's fast action. It's very light on the end. It's very sensitive, so you can kind of feel every little bump that you're dragging the drop shot along. This is what I've been using. It's a really good rod. I have it paired up with my Sienna 2500 by Shimano. This is a very good, inexpensive reel, very smooth. It's like, you know, 40 bucks or something like that. So that's my drop shot rod. I just got this specifically for the trout plant at Diamond Valley. It's just a little Okuma 1000 and a very light rod, so I can throw little mini jigs. I'm also going to use this for bass for when they're biting in the fall, when they're eating the tiny little shad and stuff like that, because the little mini jigs on this thing, you know, you can cast it pretty far, and I caught my first lightning trout on this, so this one's already broken in, which is exciting. I also have this Shimano Claris, which was going to be one of my main bass rods. I got a 2-piece basically for traveling, so that's why I got this rod in the first place. I have it paired up with another Sienna 2500 by Shimano, and I just don't like the rod that much. It's not bad. I've caught some fish on it, but it's I almost want to use it more for drop shot. It's like not sensitive enough for drop shot, but it's not stout enough for the kind of bass fishing I like. So I'm kind of on the fence about that. It's kind of like my extra rod and reel setup if something goes wrong with one of the other ones. This is one of my other main setups. This is a Shakespeare Wild Series rod, and it's actually really good. You don't really associate Shakespeare rods with, you know, much quality. They do a lot of the lower end stuff, but this one was like 60, 70 bucks, I think, around there, 80 bucks. And it actually is a really good rod. It's 2-piece, again, for traveling. No, actually it's not. It's 1-piece, sorry. And it's really good. It's really stout. I've caught some good fish on it. it's such a good rod that I paired up with my Sedona HG, which is a brand new Shimano reel. This is a new Sedona. It's got a higher gear ratio, and it's a little lighter material and stronger. So it's kind of been upgraded from the last version, which was the FE or something like that. It's about 70 bucks. It's a really good stout reel, and I got it paired up with a really nice medium action rod. I have here my big giant swim bait rod and reel. It is my Daiwa DXSB heavy action 8-footer paired up with my Lexa 300. I mean, these are incredible. Of course, I got the HUD on here. I did get a chance to throw this for stripers the other day and big bass. Nothing happened. I still have not caught anything on it. I'm hoping to take this to Florida and try to hook onto some giant snook and things like that, but it's got a great feel to it. It casts a mile. I love the reel. I haven't caught anything, but I will eventually. All right, and last, my main setup here is my Loomis E6X spinning jig rod. It is an incredible rod. It's medium, it's very light, but it's very stout. I caught that 4.9 on it, a couple other 3-pounders, and it just feels great. Very light, very strong, very sensitive. And I got that paired up with my Shimano Stradic 3000, which is a great reel also. So this is my favorite setup. It just feels good. It's very light, but very strong, very durable. Handled those fish, you know, like a pro. All of my bass setups, I have 8-pound fluorocarbon Vanish from Berkeley, right here. When I switched to Florida, I put on braid, but I normally don't use braid here. I don't like the way it sinks. You know, it's visible, you know, and for Southern California bass fishing, it just doesn't work as well for me, unless you're doing top water. And even then, I typically will switch to like 12-pound fluoro, which is what I do when it's striper fishing season. So that is what I'm using. That is all my gear. I shoot these videos on 2 GoPros. I got this little guy here, and then I got my chesty. I shoot all these intros on my iPhone. I edit on iMovie because it's easy. I also have Final Cut Pro 10. It's just more of a pain in the butt, so I use iMovie instead. Trying to think if there's anything else. That's pretty much it. That is all my gear. So very simply, I like a medium action bass rod with, you know, spinning rod with a spinning reel. 2,500 to 3,000. You don't need more than that. I like the Shimano so far, so that's what I use. The Sienna is the bottom rung one. It's very good though. You can use it to catch fish. The Sedona is a slightly nicer one, a little bit more expensive. That one feels great. I like that one a lot. And then the Stradic is a little bit more higher end than those two, and it's just a little sturdier, a little bit higher gear ratio. So 8-pound fluorocarbon Vanish from Berkeley, 1/0 size finesse hooks, wide gap for the Senkos, little owner size 4 mosquito hooks for the Robo Worm Senkos. That's it. That's all I'm throwing right now. I'll do another video in the fall. I know I probably said that last time, but I'll do another video in the fall because I throw a ton of different things in the fall, like the old fluke. So anyway, that is it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. If you have any more questions about any of the stuff that I use, put it down in the comments. I'll try to answer it. All right, thanks. See you tomorrow.